Drake sparks major Taylor Swift collaboration rumors.
Shawn Mendes reveals his insecurities in an emotional way.
That and so much more in today's show. What is up, you guys? I'm your girl, Sussan Mourad.
Hey, I'm Henderson.
And this week, as I was casually scrolling through my Instagram feed, I literally had to pick my jaw off the floor when I saw that Drake had posted a picture with Taylor Swift. And so naturally, the internet has gone wild with theories and whether a collaboration is in the works. Drake had us Swifties so shook when he shared this post on Instagram with a series of pictures, mostly of himself and his son Adonis, with the caption, "They too soft to understand the meaning of hard work." We hear you, Drizzy. But it was the last slide that caused many of us fans to have a little meltdown, if you will. It was a sweet picture of Drake with his arms wrapped around Miss Swift, with her leaning into his arm. And of course, it could mean many different things, but we had to put our investigator hat on for this one. Now, to refresh your memory, Drake and Tay have been good friends for several years and have often spoken about their mutual respect and admiration for each other's work. As you might recall, Taylor name-dropped Drake in her track I Forgot That You Existed, where she sings "In My Feelings More Than Drake." Prior to Lover's release in 2019, Tay also posed on the cover of Entertainment Weekly wearing a denim jacket, repping people and things she loves, which included a button of Drake from his Hotline Bling video. And of course, I can't not mention Tay's iconic Apple Music commercial in 2016 on the treadmill when she takes a spectacular fall while singing along to Jumpman, Drake's collab with Future. It gets me every time. Drake returned the admiration in his Apple Music commercial by lip-syncing the lyrics to Tay's Bad Blood while jamming out in the gym. Okay, so back to this cryptic post. Around the same time these commercials aired, rumors of the two working together started to swirl. In November 2016, a source revealed to The Sun that after the success of Taylor's Bad Blood remix, which featured Kendrick Lamar, Taylor had a plan to team up with Drake, adding, "As well as writing with Taylor, he's producing a few tracks and even lent his vocals to one song. It's a real mix of edgier hip-hop and R&B sounds." Interesting. Then, almost a year later, Taylor released her 6th studio album, Reputation, and we were pretty surprised that there was no Drake feature on the album. However, fast forward to this week, Drake has reignited speculation that he and T-Swizzle will be teaming up for a song together after he randomly shared this TBT photo with her. As to why Drake decided to post this now? Well, if Taylor has anything to do with it, we know it's never a coincidence. So many of us fans are speculating that it's an Easter egg to hint that the next Taylor re-recording will feature Drake on it. Many Swifties think Drake has pretty much confirmed that he will feature on an upcoming Vault track, but as you know, we are torn on which album Taylor will actually release next. And so the clowning begins. Some fans think that Drake's track will be featured as a Vault track on Reputation Taylor's version, as it was the album released after the rumors first emerged, like these fans pointed out. However, many Swifties believe that Drake would feature on Taylor's re-recording of 1989 for a variety of reasons, including that Bad Blood, the song Drake sang along to in his Apple commercial, was on 1989. As you may have noticed, Drake's photo with Taylor was number 5 in his carousel, and 1989 is Taylor's 5th album. While other Swifties pointed out that the photo looks a lot like a Polaroid, with Polaroids being a key part of Taylor's 1989 promotional rollout back in 2014. But as you know, we can never talk about Taylor's next re-record without mentioning Karma. Now, in case you weren't aware, it's heavily rumored that there's an unconfirmed, unreleased album called Karma, with a popular fan theory that Taylor was forced to scrap that album in 2016 following her feud with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. So of course, there are also fans speculating that Drake's post is tied to music on Karma, especially over on Reddit. But before we get into the Swiftie hysteria as to what we think to be true, TMZ is reporting that according to one of their sources, apparently Taylor and Drake are not about to drop new music together, and it was just a harmless throwback photo. First of all, I am choosing to believe that this so-called source saying it was nothing but a harmless throwback photo, I don't want to believe it just because I don't want to believe it, even though it's possible that it was just a harmless throwback photo, but We know one thing for sure. When it comes to Taylor Swift, it is never a coincidence. And all I want to say is I don't really care which album, whether it's 1989, Reputation, or Karma. I just want something, Tay. We are tired and we are hungry, and honestly, how good would a Taylor and Drake collaboration be? And if I had to think about it, and if I had to choose which album, I mean, 1989 would make the most sense based on all the clues, but things are still tied up with the Shake It Off lawsuit, so I don't really know if we're going to be getting that album anytime too soon until that lawsuit ties up. So maybe we are going to get Karma after all, and nothing is really holding Karma back. And Karma, potentially being the more edgier sound, a collaboration with Drake makes complete sense to me.
It does. Are you listening, Taylor? This is what we want from you. We are so down for this. And I think we all know you don't do anything involving Taylor Swift and have it mean nothing. Like, she has got a tight grip on her inner circle. I mean, a loving grip, but it's a tight one. She controls the narrative, right? So we're hearing there's no forthcoming collab, and I will believe that because that's what they're saying right now, even though we don't want it to be true. No. But this has to be some kind of hint for a project other than a collab. All right, moving on to Shawn Mendes, because he just got real in a letter to fans saying that he actually has a really hard time telling the truth about who he is. So here's what happened. Shawn posted this heartfelt note to fans on his Twitter saying, "Sometimes I ask myself what it is that I should be doing with my life, and what I always hear in return is to tell the truth, to be the truth. I feel like that's a hard thing to do though." Shawn says that he worries that if people know and see the truth, they might think less of him or become bored. So in those moments of feeling low, he'll deal with it by either putting on a show or hiding. Shawn also said that he constantly feels like he's either flying or drowning and isn't sure if other 20-somethings experience the same highs and lows. And then Shawn went back to the truth theme, saying, "The truth is, I really do want to show up to the world as my 100% true, honest, unique self and not care what anyone thinks. Sometimes I do, sometimes I really don't care what people think, and I feel free. Most of the time, it's a struggle though." Now, Shawn kind of kept the root of this whole contemplation pretty vague. He wasn't explicit about if it was all about his breakup with Camila or what. But the internet even suggested that he could be opening up about his sexuality, which social media users have long harassed him about. Or, maybe it's just your typical growing up insecurities, just wondering what you're doing with your life. Shawn may have even been logging too many hours doom scrolling on the interweb lately, as he also said he feels overwhelmed and overstimulated. Fans naturally got a little worried about Shawn, but he assured them in a follow-up tweet, "I'm honestly so okay. I just want to communicate with you guys in a real honest way." He also tweeted, "And I guess I'm like, damn, if I'm feeling this with all the blessings I have, I imagine there must be so many people feeling this, and I just don't want them to feel alone." Man, this is so relatable of Shawn to talk about. I really appreciate it, and it sounds like he's struggling with a little bit of imposter syndrome perhaps, which I totally feel him on. Whether it's like career changes, relationship changes, just changes in growing up. When your identity changes and is linked to those different things, you just start kind of questioning everything. I've definitely been there before. I couldn't believe he was kind of talking about feeling like he was failing at points too, because I'm like, Shawn Mendes, you are selling millions of records, touring all over the world, and I just kind of couldn't believe that. But I have heard before that if you're waiting to feel like you've made it, you're never gonna feel that. Like, the bar always just keeps getting further and further. So if I was a psychologist analyzing the whole thing, give me those glasses, Susan. Put them on. And either way, I feel like just opening up about this, seeing the iPhone note, maybe he's kind of hinting at a future song, pulling a little Charlie Puth, if you will.
One of the things I couldn't help but wonder was what triggered Shawn to put that note out right now. Like, obviously we know he's just gone through a big breakup with Camila. He's going through a lot of life changes. He's growing up, so he's obviously being, really vulnerable and wanting to share with fans that he is going through a lot of things, but he's okay. I think all these feelings are normal, and it's a great reminder for all of us, that we're all gonna be okay.
I love this personal growth. All right, guys, buckle up, because we're gonna give you a quick roundup of all the celeb news from this week that you need to know, starting out with Camila Cabello's Carpool Karaoke, where she shared the real reason that she auditioned for the X Factor.
X Factor.
I was 15. I was like a huge One Direction fan. And I was like, The Voice, X Factor. And I was like, well, One Direction will be at X Factor. I don't know if they'll be at The Voice, so let me audition for X Factor.
That was the reason.
Literally, this is really embarrassing. And I can only say this because obviously that was like 10 years ago. But I literally was like, I'm auditioning for X Factor because I will marry Harry Styles. Like, I will.
Now, while she might not be marrying Harry anytime soon, she is hanging out with Selena Gomez, so we're gonna take that as a win.
Switching gears, the LAPD has confirmed that A$AP Rocky has been arrested. According to reports, A$AP was arrested at LAX airport on Wednesday morning after arriving from a trip from Barbados with Rihanna. He was detained in connection to a November 2021 shooting. Details are still developing, but according to a press release, A$AP has been charged with assault with a deadly weapon, firearm, after a victim claimed that A$AP and 2 others approached him on the street and shot at him 3 to 4 times and believed one of the bullets grazed his left hand. His bail was set at $550,000, according to the LA County Sheriff's Department booking report. A$AP was released less than 3 hours later after posting bond, according to records, and has a court date set for August 17.
The way I feel the best is when oh my god, I'm such a Pisces.
And our girl, Olivia Rodrigo, was revealed as the new face of Glossier. Now, this isn't a total surprise since Olivia's been name-dropping Glossier a couple of times throughout the last year, and I think it's a great choice to kind of age the millennial beauty brand down just a little bit.
And Blac Chyna versus the Kardashians is officially underway. While there have been many headlines surrounding this scandalous trial, the internet is running wild with the sketch of the Kardashians in the courtroom. Like this person who pointed out the sketcher clearly isn't a Kardashian fan, while this fan called them art along with a sketch of Chyna.
That artist did them dirty with that sketch. All right, Joe Alwyn, who is known to be a very private person, opened up about those Taylor Swift engagement rumors. So Joe told the Wall Street Journal magazine, "I mean, the truth is, if the answer was yes, I wouldn't say. And if the answer was no, I wouldn't say." Well, thanks for clearing that one up, Joe.
A true gentleman. All right, that's all from us, guys.
Yep, see you guys later. Bye!